So for over 10 years I have been using the Northface Basecamp Duffel in size large as my check-in bag. And for over, I would say 2 to 3 years I have been using this as my gym bag for boxing and Muay Thai. And for boxing and Muay Thai I need to take so much stuff. And now I kind of want to test out this Stubble Co Kitbag in the sizing 65 liters. And I will pack all of my Muay Thai gear now into this and start testing this. Again, as I said, for Muay Thai I need to take so much stuff. For example, I have chin pads, obviously my boxing gloves. I am a huge fan of Twins gear, really good stuff. So my shin guards and my gloves are from Twins, and because I'm sparring I always use 16 ounces of gloves, so they are fairly big. In our gym you need to have at least 14 ounces of gloves if you want to do sparring, but I prefer 16 inches. I don't want to hurt anyone I'm sparring, so that is why I prefer 16 ounces. They are pretty big. Then next up, I actually during sparring I had some eye injury, which is why I also wear some headgear. These are from Ben Lee, really like those. Then either if I'm going to boxing or to Muay Thai, for Muay Thai I always bring my own pads, because some of the pads in the gym sometimes are a little bit smelly, some of them, not all of them. So I rather have my own where I know that my hands or my arms won't smell after holding pads. So these are fairly big as well. If I'm going to boxing, I have these pads, they are smaller. But now let's pack for Muay Thai. Also, I have a small little bag from Drake where I have my jumping ropes, a small little case for glasses, but also my mouth guard. Yeah, and let's pack everything inside this bag from Stubble Co, the kit bag, 65 liters. Alright, so now let's try to see if I can actually fit everything in here. What I do like about this is that there are so many small little places where I could kind of store and organize stuff. So you have these small little slots here and a water bottle slot here. So when I carry this in backpack mode on a motorcycle, for example, the water bottle would be safe in a right orientation, so the opening would be at the top. You also have an extra slot for shoes. I don't need that, but it's good to have a place if you want to keep some dirtier or wet items away from anything else. I always start to put in my shin guards first. I like to put them here at the bottom, at least in my Northface Basecamp Duffel. Then let's start with the biggest items, which are these pads. So I already can tell that this will be a little bit of a tighter fit than with my Northface bag. So now put these gloves in here. And yeah, my helmet, head guard. Let's put that like that. Yeah, it is definitely more of a squeeze compared to my Northface Basecamp Duffel large, but as you can tell, it does fit everything inside, but it is definitely more of a squeeze. Then I usually pack this track pouch with my hand wraps and my mouth guard here. This is definitely tighter, I don't know. So pack this on top, and then I would actually pack my clothing somewhere here. So it does fit everything inside, but yeah, let's see. I will try this now on my motorcycle and go to the gym, and let's see how I like this. Again, everything fits, but it is a little bit tighter, and it should be better on the motorcycle because then it is smaller. So let's just give you a quick little comparison. So I would say, yeah, the large one of the Northface Basecamp Duffel has a little bit more headroom. I would approximate maybe 10 centimeters more of headroom, which is why I have a little bit more space inside this with everything. But yeah, let's try this out and let's see how comfortable it will be on the motorcycle. So I just got back from my very first ride with this kit bag from Stubble Co. So I went to the gym and then back from the gym. Today was boxing, so I did not pack the big Thai pads. I will pack them tomorrow. So I had only my boxing pads. Overall, everything fitted inside quite well, but I did notice already that with my clothing and all of this stuff, it was much tighter than in my Northface Basecamp duffel bag size large. So it will be interesting to see how everything will fit inside tomorrow, because tomorrow I will have some more items because I'm doing Muay Thai tomorrow. We will have sparring as well. What I noticed on the motorcycle, that because everything was so tight inside and the bag overall is a little bit smaller than the Northface Basecamp duffel, plus I have a sternum strap here, I noticed that because everything is tighter, nothing was kind of like flopping around when I was having some side winds. So on the motorcycle itself, it was much more comfortable to carry around or to sit on the motorcycle with that bag on my back. Overall, right now, I also feel it is very comfortable to carry despite all of the items inside. Having shoulder pads in my motorcycle gear, all of that is great. Moreover, what I also noticed is, and this is a very specific use case because I assume that most of you who use this bag for traveling or going to the gym won't have that issue, but with all of the items inside, all of those inside pockets basically were useless and I couldn't use them because everything was so packed inside. However, the top quick access compartment was great to store my water bottle and keep it kind of away from all of the items inside. So if it would have spilled, it would protect everything more or less from my other items getting wet from that water bottle if it would spill. So from first impression, I really like this because everything is a little bit more consolidated, compressed, and the bag is smaller, and therefore on the motorcycle itself it was very comfortable to ride on, and it wasn't as noticeable because nothing was kind of fluttering or something like that when I was riding. So having a good strap and organizers on the shoulder strap actually was great. Having a sternum strap, I don't have that on the Basecamp duffel. Then that is a pro or a negative depending on how you see it. This doesn't have like grab handles to carry it just like a regular duffel bag. So you only have the straps that you use as shoulder straps to also use as a grab handle in duffel bag mode. But those are less items that are fluttering around when you're on a motorcycle. So that's something that you kind of need to figure out for yourself. Do you need those grab handles in duffel mode, or do you just use the shoulder straps if you carry it? That is something to consider, just something I wanted to mention. So yeah, looking forward to test it out tomorrow when I carry all of the Muay Thai gear, which will be much more crowded then. Alright, so I'm about to go to Muay Thai training, meaning I've packed this to the brim with shin guards, head guard, Thai pads, or those bigger pads that occupy a lot of space inside the bag, and my gloves, my clothing, all of the small items like hand wraps, but also a water bottle in the top of that compartment. So everything is quite full inside, and I want to use this opportunity to kind of talk about the zippers. These are not YKK zippers. These are from a brand called Opti. I haven't heard about that brand before, so I don't know if they have a good reputation of being very durable or very good. But from first impression and looking at them isolated, they look good in quality, although if I compare them to my Northface Basecamp duffel, which has these big and chunky YKK zippers for the main compartment, these do look less confidence inspiring compared to that one. Overall, I would have wished that the zipper of the main compartment, they would have chosen a thicker or a bigger zipper for the main compartment. Again, they do look good, but not as confidence inspiring like the Northface Basecamp Duffel, especially when the bag is fully loaded. I will need to take a look at the zippers in a long-term review, but for now they look good. But again, I would have wished they would be a little bit bigger, thicker and chunkier, just to be a little bit more confidence inspiring that they will hold up a lot of abuse. And when this is fully loaded, you kind of need to obviously squeeze it a little bit and force the zipper shut. Again, I acknowledge that what I load inside might be a little bit excessive and not the usual loadout, but I feel like that is a very good testing method to kind of overload this a little bit and then stress the zippers. Next up, concerning the zippers, obviously with 65 liters capacity, this would be considered a check-in bag. I am really paranoid when it comes down to pickpocketing, but more importantly, people stuffing items into my bag that I don't want to have, be it illegal items or, more importantly, a tracker. If they snuck in a tracker, then they obviously would know if I'm not at home. That is why I personally would not use this bag as a check-in bag, because there are 1, 2, 3 pockets, zippered pockets on the bag itself that you cannot lock because they don't have a dual zipper where you kind of can lock the zippers together. Obviously, those kind of theft preventions aren't foolproof. You obviously can cut open them or whatever. But I feel like because they don't have any protection at all, these are very good for those opportunistic situations where you just kind of open up the zipper, take something out or put something in and then just quickly close it shut. So not having the ability to kind of lock or make it more difficult for theft to knot them in a way makes this not a bag that I would like to use as a check-in bag. These zippered compartments, one where I put my water bottle inside, one which is a shoe compartment, and another one here at the front, I don't know, a flat compartment for a beanie or maybe some documents, not lockable. Therefore, I don't want to use this as a check-in bag. Your mileage may vary. I know I'm really paranoid about that, and I've seen a lot of comments that they were saying I'm too paranoid. But like with all of my reviews, I like to nitpick. And even if those negatives don't apply to you, maybe some other person will consider those a flaw as well. So the zippers, in my humble opinion, could be improved in terms of being bigger and therefore potentially more durable or at least more confidence inspiring. And I would have wished that these extra pockets here would be to some degree dual zippers, so I could kind of make them a little bit more difficult for pickpockets to get into. To be fair, my Northface Basecamp Duffel on the flip side has the negative of only having one compartment, which is the main compartment with the beefy dual zippers that I can lock. So the trade-off of that bag is you don't have any quick access compartments or some way to organize your items with extra compartments. That's the downside of the Northface Basecamp Duffel, but you can lock that main compartment and hopefully no one will get inside your main compartment. By the way, this zippered compartment for your shoes, this extra compartment, is not only amazing to separate your dirty shoes or your wet items from the main compartment, but I utilize that to store my sweaty hand wraps from Muay Thai or boxing inside this compartment. Not necessarily to keep away those sweaty hand wraps from the rest of the items, but rather because they are so long, they easily get tangled inside the main compartment. So having an extra slot here at the bottom just to store away some other items from the main compartment is amazing. But keep in mind that the volume of this shoe compartment obviously expands into the bag. So anything that you put into the separate shoe compartment will take away volume of the main compartment. Alright, I'm just about to pack again for Muay Thai classes. I actually go 4 times per week to the gym, 2 times for Muay Thai and another 2 times for boxing. So I had plenty of time to test this bag with all of the stuff that I bring on those gym runs. So now let's talk about the verdict, but maybe first summarize the negatives. As I said, the zippers aren't YKK, they are from this brand that is called Optic. Opti. I have no idea if that is a good brand. As far as I can tell, the zipper quality so far from opening, closing, loading and stuff is good. However, I still believe these main zippers should be a little bit beefier. This to me is just way too thin. It should be a little bit beefier and a little bit stronger. That is not to say that these aren't strong, but just to give you some more confidence inspiring and feel of safety, I believe these could be a little bit beefier. Furthermore, the external zippered compartments, while they are good to organize your stuff, for example, I put my water bottle in this top quick access compartment. In the shoe compartment, I put the sweaty hand wraps. That is good to have, but personally, and I know that I'm a little bit paranoid about this, but maybe you consider this negative as well. Not being able to lock the zippers of these quick access compartments would kind of prevent me from actually checking in this bag. I just don't like having the thought of someone accessing one of these 3 zippered quick access compartments and then either dropping in an AirTag, for example, or something worse. Again, that is the reason why I personally would not use this or utilize this as a check-in bag. Next up, my loadout is special, and with all of the items that I have inside, none of these internal compartments I personally cannot use. But that's not really negative because that's a special use case for me. The pros of this bag is I am really impressed how much I can fit inside. Especially, I mean, these Thai pads, they are huge. And if I put everything inside here, again, I have my shin guards, then my head guard. Now I put in the Thai pads, left and right, like so. Put in my gloves, that. Then my clothing. I wear a lot of clothing for the gym because A, it's still cold, and B, I'm not sweating that easily, so having more clothing on just helps to sweat and I want to burn some calories. Then the track pouch with all of my accessories like mouth guards, hand wraps, put that in here. Everything fits very well inside and is actually very comfortable to carry around and to have on my motorcycle. I really like the shoulder straps. They work very well on my back because this is slightly smaller compared to my Basecamp Duffel in size L. This feels much more snug to my body because everything obviously is snug inside. You have some strap and organizers here on the shoulder straps, which the Basecamp Duffel does not have. You have a sternum strap, so everything fits very well when you carry it, when you have it on your motorcycle. If you want to check in the bag, you can detach the shoulder straps, but you do not have any extra like grab handles. You have side handles here and on the top, but not those standard duffel bag kind of grab handles. So if you want to carry it in duffel bag mode, you need to utilize the shoulder straps. So if you would check in this bag, the people who kind of work with these bags can only use the grab handles on the side. Could be a benefit as well, because sometimes when checking the bag, people consider too much of this dangling stuff somewhat of a concern because they could kind of snag on the luggage belt. So being able to remove everything that is kind of like flopping around could be a benefit for a check-in bag. Overall, the build quality from not necessarily what I mentioned, the zippers, but everything else, the stitching, the choice of materials, in my humble opinion, is really good and I do like it. Everything is to some degree water resistant. I don't like calling anything waterproof, but this is very easily to wipe off. So if I would get into rain or dirt splashes on here, I can easily wipe it off. And that's about it. If you're looking for a good alternative alternative to the Northface Basecamp Duffel, then I think you should take a look at this, especially if you're doing Muay Thai like I do. Everything will fit in here perfectly. Again, personally, I would not use it as check-in bag. You have potentially a different opinion about that. If you're looking for an alternative to the Northface Basecamp Duffel, then definitely check out this kit bag in 65 liters. As far as I remember, this is also available in this bright yellow. I do prefer a bright color so I can see it more easily on a luggage belt, but more importantly on motorcycle. Yeah, this black box on your back probably reduces visibility, so I would have loved if this would be the yellow version to make me more visible on the motorcycle. And if you consider getting this bag, remember I put links in the description below. Those are affiliate links. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. And again, I really like this. I will continue using this for Muay Thai and working out, but probably not as a check-in bag. For that, I will still continue using the Northface Basecamp Duffel just because I'm able to walk the main compartment. And yeah, let me know, do you train Muay Thai? What kind of bag do you use to bring all of the items when you're going to work out? Because yeah, even if you don't carry Thai pads, you still have shin guards, maybe a head guard, boxing gloves. That's a lot of stuff. How do you carry all of that? If you want to see my long-term review of the Northface Basecamp Duffel, check out the video up here, and YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.